Okay, guys, so let's understand what are factorials. Okay, the basic definition of factorials is that n factorial is nothing but product of the first n natural numbers. So if I say 5 factorial, guys, 5 factorial का simple meaning हो जाता है 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So उसको लिखने का तरीका क्या है? 5 followed by an exclamation mark. 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So basically any number n factorial is product of the first n natural numbers. Okay, this will explain right now. Remember that n factorial is n into n minus 1 factorial. For example, 5 factorial is as good as 5 multiplied by 4 factorial. Okay, so if you compare 5 factorial is 120, 5 into 4 factorial is 524. Makes sense? The answer will be 120 only. Guys, as a consequence, by back calculating, if you put n is equal to 1 here, you can calculate the value of 0 factorial as 1. So as a definition also, and by the convention also, 0 factorial is equal to 1. Okay, so next is we'll see the list of the first n natural numbers, the first 10 natural numbers ke factorials. 0 factorial, I told you, is 1, and so is 1 factorial. There are many advantages, indirect and direct, both, of knowing factorials. We'll understand them in detail as and when we proceed further. I want you all to just pause the video, take 2 minutes, and then we'll discuss it. All right. Now, the best part about this question is we are going to learn 3 methods to solve the same question. How? Let's see. Okay. We look at the very first method, guys. Ek chota sa property here which you're supposed to know, and I want you to remember this as such. Make a note of this. Okay. So let's say I write 7 into 7 factorial. Okay, now guys, can I write this 7, or in fact, can I not write this 7 as 8 minus 1? I can, right? So 8 minus 1 into 7 factorial is what it becomes. Now there is something called as a distributive property in maths. So it will be 7 factorial into 8 minus 1 into 7 factorial. Now, as we saw, n into n minus 1 factorial is n factorial, right? So basically this part is nothing but 8 factorial minus ये क्या हो गया 7 factorial. Okay, guys. So just remember this now. Always remember n into n factorial is nothing but n plus 1 factorial minus n factorial. Okay, you can just remember this as a standard now. Okay, and this is the very first method using which we'll solve the question here. Okay, अब देखो पहला वाला टर्म क्या है 1 into 1 factorial. We saw that n into n factorial is n plus 1 factorial minus n factorial. So n into 1 factorial, guys, क्या हो जाएगा 1 plus 1 is 2 factorial minus 1 factorial, right? So this part here now, this part starting wala, okay, you can simply replace this by 2 factorial minus 1 factorial, right? Plus अब next term क्या है 2 into 2 factorial. Again this will be equal to 2 plus 1 3 factorial minus 2 factorial up to ये लास्ट टर्म क्या हो जाएगा 1002 factorial minus 1001 factorial, right? Okay, इसमें से 2 factorial cancel, 3 factorial cancel, 4 factorial cancel, 5 factorial आगे 5 factorial cancel हो जाएगा to the extent that 1001 factorial भी पिछले वाले टर्म में से कैंसिल हो जाएगा, पीछे ही रहा होगा ना 1001 factorial minus 1000 factorial cancel out. So only 2 terms remain now, which is your answer 1002 factorial और ये है minus 1 factorial, right? Minus 1 factorial. This is your option B. Now the other way to solve the question is a shortcut that we will study again in detail when we study series. Okay, and that shortcut is called as mathematical induction. So what is the mathematical induction, guys? मैथमेटिकल इंडक्शन मींस एक छोटे सेट ऑफ नंबर्स पे कुछ एक पैटर्न ऑब्जर्व करना and then applying the exact same pattern to the bigger set of numbers. So what we'll do is we'll start small. Okay, पहले हम लोग क्या करेंगे 1 into 1 factorial खाली लेंगे. अगर 1 into 1 factorial सिर्फ लिया तो अपना आंसर क्या आता है 1 आता है ना, right? Now we slowly keep on adding like different terms. So अभी हम लोग 2 terms लेते हैं 1 into 1 factorial plus 2 into 2 factorial as per the question. Okay, so 2 into 2 factorial is 2 into 2 4 plus 1 is basically 5. Okay, अभी एक और टर्म ऐड करते हैं 1 into 1 factorial plus 2 into 2 factorial plus 3 into 3 factorial. Now guys, 3 factorial is equal to 6 into 3 18 plus पिछला वाला is 5 23. Okay, well, आगे वाला टर्म क्या हो जाएगा? ये सेम थिंग प्लस 4 into 4 factorial, right? 4 factorial is 24 into 4 is 96 plus 23 is 119. So 1 is basically 2 minus 1 or basically 2 factorial minus 1. What is 5? 5 is basically 6 minus 1, which is 3 factorial minus 1. So basically, if you take the first n terms, okay, unka sum basically kya hai? N plus 1 factorial minus 1. So if the nth term is 1001, your sum is 1001 plus 1, 1002 factorial minus 1. If you look at the complete series, देखो, after 5 into 5 factorial, 5 factorial guys 120 होता है, right? So after 5 into 5 factorial, all the terms will practically end with 0, right? Okay, तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे? We'll find out the units place of the number in the question. जो ये नंबर बनेगा सबको ऐड करके उसका हम यूनिट प्लेस निकालेंगे and compare it with the options. 1 into 1 factorial will end with a 1, right? 2 into 2 factorial will end with a 4, right? 3 into 3 factorial, 3 factorial is 6, 3 into 6 is 18, ends with an 8. 4 into 4 factorial, 4 factorial is 24, 4, 4, 16, ends with a 6. So 8 plus 6 plus 4 plus 1. After 5 factorial, guys, 5 into 5 factorial, all the numbers will practically end with a 0, right? So the units place can be found very easily by adding these numbers. Okay, 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 8, 13 plus 6 is 19. So the answer should practically 19 plus 0, 0, 0 units place would be affected, right? So the units place of the question is 9. Okay, only one of the options ends with a 9 in the units place. That's B option. Because देखो ये 0 something होगा in the units place, 0 minus 1 will end with a 9, right? ये 1 से खत्म होगा, ये 0 से खत्म होगा, ये 0 से खत्म होगा, right? So all the options will basically end with a 0 except the B option which will end with a 9. That's your answer.